Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
Hello and welcome to TCG Buzz. This is a special audio-only episode recorded from the quarantine, from the after times when I'm stuck at home, unable to record in the studio right now. We're working on it, but hey, we've got a great episode for you today, joined by, again, Speedrobo.
Hi, it's super great to be here. I hope all you card folk are doing well at home, staying safe, wearing masks, and all that good shit.
So, today's episode is going to be kind of interesting, I think. We are going to be talking about something to do with Buddyfight, because unfortunately Buddyfight is at its end. That's hard to say, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I agree, but as I've said before, I'm glad it ended while it still had its dignity.
So, with the entirety of Buddyfight being done, pending a reboot or anything like that, there are lots and lots and lots of Buddyfight players out there who are now out of their main card game. And I'm one of those people. I played Buddyfight almost daily for 4 or 5 years. And part of me is like, what do I do now? So what we're going to be doing today is Speedrobo and I collectively have played every card game.
Yes.
Every card game?
Every card game. There's no doubt in my mind.
We're both huge card design nerds who have at least played every card game once. Seriously, you could test us. There are very few card games that either of us have never played.
I completely agree.
So because of that, who better to recommend some new card games for you to try out because you were a big Buddyfight fan? So we have for you guys today 5 recommendations for other games you might enjoy spending some time on.
Yes, and you want to just jump right into the list? Let's just do the top 5, bro. Take it away.
The one thing we should say before we get comments about it is we are not going to be talking about Gate Ruler here.
Yes.
Because it's not out and we haven't actually played it, and we're not going to go so far as to recommend a game we've never played.
Exactly. Once we're able to get our hands on the game, we may do, in fact, we almost certainly will do a video all about how Gate Ruler stacks up to Buddyfight and if it's a good replacement or not.
Yeah. So we've got 5 items on our list, and we're going to go through each one of them and tell you the reasons we think it's a good fit for Buddyfight fans as a next game to try out. We're not going to say you're going to love it and become totally addicted to it and it's the only thing you'll play ever, but there are some things about these games we've selected that either remind us of Buddyfight or just are fun in similar ways to how Buddyfight is.
Absolutely.
Do you want to pick the first one off our list?
Well, I was actually thinking that you would do the odd numbers and I would do the even numbers, because it worked out that the even numbers were my suggestions and the odd numbers were yours.
Oh yeah, that works perfectly. Okay, we're gonna start off with really, Jacob? You're gonna recommend that?
That was kind of my reaction when I first heard this.
The first game I'm going to recommend is Pokemon. No, seriously. So I'm recommending Pokemon as a game to get into and really wrap your head in. Not necessarily for its gameplay. There are 2 big, strong reasons I think Buddyfight players would like the Pokemon trading card game. Number 1 is its community. Buddyfight had a legendarily good community for years. Great people, very wholesome, very supportive, not cancerific or salty whatsoever. And Pokemon's very much that same way. And I think part of it is because both communities tend to lean maybe a little on the younger side.
Yes, I would say that that's very accurate, especially since Buddyfight was designed by Bushiroad to be their Pokemon-aged game. So it did capture some of that market.
I've been to events for plenty of card games. I've been to events for Buddyfight, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Super, Cardfight Vanguard, Pokemon, and a dozen others.
What about Weiss Schwarz events, Jacob?
we don't talk about live Fritz events. Pokemon is the only one that gave me that same feel of positive community that Buddyfight did. Others did to an extent, but like both Pokemon and Buddyfight felt very wholesome to me.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Because I've been going to Pokemon events since I was around 7 years old, and it was a very welcoming environment for me, even at that age. And as somebody whose main game and main competitive game is Cardfight Vanguard, I can tell you right now, oh, we're salty as hell.
Yeah. Let's not go there right now.
All right.
Shiny cardboard is reason number 2. Seriously, Pokemon holographic cards, the higher end full art textured cards are gorgeous. So those players who really enjoyed collecting Buddyfight, I think Pokemon is probably the best fit. And believe it or not, most Pokemon foils don't warp nearly to the extent Buddyfights did.
Yeah, with all of my Buddyfight foils, if I wanted to keep them nice, I'd have to put them in like triple sleeved and in a hard sleeve just to keep them from bending.
Now, this recommendation is a little weird because I don't actually like playing the Pokemon card game.
Yeah, neither do I. I find Pokemon to be a game that has an overall lack of interaction, a lack of super deep strategies due to that lack of interaction, and the energy system is just Magic's land system, but worse. So I don't really recommend Pokemon for its gameplay if you're into Buddyfight's gameplay. But for my third reason as to why I do recommend Pokemon is that if there's one thing Buddyfight did right, it was attract the Scalies. Everything's a dragon, and those dragons are DTF. And believe me, you can find Charizard porn out there. This'll scratch that itch.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to yes and that, but yes and.
Moving on to our second recommendation, which is the first thing that came to my mind when Jacob brought up this video idea. The first thing I thought of was Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is kind of the no-duh recommendation. If you are somebody who liked Buddyfight because you had a relatively large community at your shop, you could play it weekly, and especially if you enjoyed the Buddyfight gameplay that was introduced in Ace and Ace 2, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is absolutely 100% the game for you. It has a near identical gameplay flow, whereas your deck building has to be catered to either going first or going second, and those are the two styles you can do. That's not a bad thing necessarily, don't get me wrong, and I genuinely think that if you liked the gameplay from Buddyfight from Ace and Ace 2, Yu-Gi-Oh! Will absolutely satisfy that, and as a bonus, you've got a huge player base and a huge community to support and play with.
I would definitely recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! As the game to go to for those players who particularly enjoyed the high-end competitive side of Buddyfight. If you're the type who, always wanted to play the big meta decks and top at regionals, you're probably going to have a great time with Yu-Gi-Oh! Once you get past the learning curves.
Yeah, and that's... I fully agree.
For those of you who, only casually played Buddyfight, I probably would not recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! But if that's something you're already predispositioned to play, maybe you played it, years back or blah, 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 or you've got friends who play it, go for it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a great game. It's not perfect, but no card game is.
Exactly. And I'll tell you flat out, casual Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a fun time, and if you can get a group together to play it casually, I do recommend doing that. But maybe don't go to tournaments.
Also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Of all the games has the best free digital versions to play. So if you're a big person who played Buddyfight Area constantly, Duolog.
Yes, you've got so many different options to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Digitally. It boggles the mind. Even if you want to play...
Including Duel Links!
Honestly, yeah, I was just going to say Duel Links. Like, Duel Links, there's plenty to make fun of for it, and there's plenty that's bad about it, but when it comes down to it, it is a good digital version of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, in general it is.
Yeah.
I played it quite consistently until Synchros came in.
Yeah, same. I did exactly the same. And I had a lot of fun with it, so maybe you will too. You ready for game number 3, Jacob?
I am. This one actually kind of breaks the pattern because both of us were super into this recommendation. Now, I will say this recommendation is the one I'm most hesitant to give. Not because of the gameplay of the game, not because of the community, not because of price. It's because of issues with the company itself.
Yes.
That game is the current iteration of Bakugan. Now, why would I be recommending that for a Buddy Fight fan? First of all, it's actually got an anime, and I know there are a lot of players who really like the Buddy Fight anime. I've not watched the current Bakugan anime. I don't know if it's good, but I know it exists.
I've heard it's divisive.
The other thing I really like about Bakugan is, the designs. They're great at getting some really good iconic designs. So if you're someone who was into Buddy Fight for the aesthetic, Bakugan's a great fit for you. Now, the reasons I was so hesitant to recommend it is the distribution of the game has been a major problem. Major problem. They need to get their act together or this current iteration will not last that long. But I think in the meantime, there's tons of fun to be had with it. Even just collecting the balls.
I fully agree. The toys are super cool and the flavor is very Buddy Fight-like. The reason why I'm hesitant to recommend it is not only due to the distribution, it's because there's virtually no competitive support for it.
That is true. But if you're someone who, is all about loving the Buddy Fight characters and the anime and everything, it's probably the best fit right now for you. I don't know if that's because this Bakugan is pretty decent or if it's because there's slim pickings right now for good, kid-friendly card games that have a good anime. I'm not really sure, but you can definitely invest even a reasonable amount of money into it and have a great time with your friends.
Ready for game number 4?
I am, and this is where things are going to change, you guys. The first 3 we recommended are all current card games. 2 of them, yes, are 2 of the most popular card games in the world, so they might be more of the obvious choices. And Bakugan's a relatively well-known newcomer to the scene. This is a little different. For our last 2 picks, we picked some dead card games. Because if there are only 2 people on the planet who are experts in dead card games, you're looking at them.
Damn straight, brother.
But what I feel might be the issue for someone watching this video, or in this case, I guess, listening to this podcast, is why would you recommend me a dead card game when the issue is that my card game's dying? Well, first of all, just because a game is dead doesn't mean it's not fun. I mean, Buddy Fight's clearly an example of that. And if you play smart and, pick your purchases well, dead card games that have already settled, they aren't in a turbulent period like Buddy Fight is now, can be very affordable depending on what you get. Because for both of our 2 examples, there are some very expensive booster boxes out there, but you can pick up open raw stacks of cards for very cheap.
Exactly.
So, let's go with the first pick, which you can bring up, and you can tell me those 2 words that are probably the top 2 words you and I have ever spoke to each other, ever.
Duel Masters is game number 4 for us. And the reason why is that if you liked Buddy Fight's gameplay when it first came out, quick and snappy, but with lots of interesting interactive decisions and a gameplay that kept you on your toes from start to finish with a never know what's going to happen wacky atmosphere, Duel Masters is 100% the game for you.
Duel Masters is super fun. It's kind of along the same lines as Buddyfight aesthetic-wise. You know, it is very Japanese-inspired, though kind of more a blend with Western aesthetics.
It's got a goofy as fuck Saturday morning cartoon.
It does. I'd argue the English version is actually better because of that.
Oh,
because
100%.
The Japanese version,
if you're going to watch Duel Masters,
it's kind of just...
you have to watch it
kind of
dubbed.
just boring.
Yeah, you have to watch Duel Masters dubbed. And part of the reason I did want to put Duel Masters on this list is that there are ways that you can play this game right now conveniently without having to pick up any cards. Duel Masters is one of those weird games that exists in a dead but not dead state. And the best way to play this game...
Yeah, it's weird to call one of the most successful card games still, sales-wise, in Japan, a dead card game.
Exactly. It's still ongoing.
It's more like
in Japan.
It's in purgatory.
Yeah, it's in purgatory for English players. But hey, if you understand Japanese, I highly recommend playing the official mobile app Duel Masters Plays. I don't speak Japanese, so it was a bit of a struggle for me, but I do have all of the older cards memorized, and it's basically Duel Links, but for Duel Masters. It'll do ya if you can speak Japanese. But if you can't speak Japanese, it's time for me to shamelessly plug my game in beta. It's called Card Duel Champions, and it is a Duel Masters, very, very similar to Duel Masters in gameplay-wise, Android application designed to have quick and snappy gameplay, perfect for the on-the-go duelist. So hey, if Duel Masters sounds like something that interests you, check out my new game, Card Duel Champions, now available in beta on Android.
Yes. That's all I have to say. How am I supposed to build on that sweet, sweet plug, man?
Dude, my plug game and my transition to advertising game has just gotten so much better over the years. I'm shamefully proud of it.
Yeah, man. I've played Card Duel Champions a couple of times. I got green in the quiz.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely think Duel Masters is a game that's worth playing if you enjoyed just playing a card game that felt right. You know, like Buddyfight, especially in its early days, felt like a game design masterpiece.
Fully
You know,
agree.
it felt like the people behind it knew what they were doing, had years of experience building card games, and said, we want to do things right. And Duel Masters very much has that same feel to it.
That I couldn't have said it better myself. That is exactly why I recommend Duel Masters as well. And on that note,
Being said, if you're someone who loves opening boxes of stuff, Duel Masters is not the game for you.
God, no, it is so, like, sealed product for Duel Masters is so pricey. Like, I just buy.
Of course, there's
bulk.
There's always Kaijudo.
There sure is, buddy.
Yeah.
There sure is.
Kaijudo is fine. It's not as good as the original, but
You
it hits a lot of the same notes.
You could play it.
The card stock sucks.
It's like, honestly, with Kaijudo being dead, it's like, why would I play Kaijudo instead of just playing Duel Masters?
Because boxes are cheap. I mean, they're going up. They're up to like $30, $40 on average.
Yeah.
But still.
I don't know. Maybe 2 years ago when they were like $10 a pop, I could have recommended it, but.
Yeah. Last up is another one of my choices. And this one's going to seem weird at first, but hear me out. The last card game I picked was the Naruto Ccg. No, I'm not talking about Chrono Clash. Don't even bother.
Oh, R.I.P. Chrono Clash.
It's going to happen soon, let me tell you.
The announcement's coming.
But Naruto's CCG, first thing I'll say is I did not play this while it was a current game. I first played it years after it had died. And my first thought after playing it was, man, I would have loved playing this when it was still around.
I actually did play this game when it was still around, and I had a brief competitive stint with it, and I loved it.
So the biggest number one reason why Naruto's on this list is because it shares one big trait with Buddyfight. Buddyfight was a fantastic game for variety in gameplay. It kind of got worse over time with that, where decks started to feel a little more homogenous, but especially in the first couple seasons, all your decks felt different. All your worlds felt different, and your decks within those worlds each had their own flavor and style of doing things. There's tons of variety with Buddyfight, and Naruto's very much the same. You want to build something in Naruto, you can build it. There are 1,000 different deck strategies you can go for in that game. Go for it.
100%. If you are the kind of control player that likes to specifically control by preventing your opponent's cards from activating their abilities, there's a deck for you. If you're the kind of aggro player that likes to aggro by summoning specifically 1-drops and only 1-drops, congratulations, there's a deck for you. If you are a mid-range player that only likes to play one big chunky guy and then slowly power it up throughout the game, congratulations, there's a deck for you.
I definitely would recommend Naruto as one of those games for people who like just bulk building decks. If you want to show up for card game night where you guys decided to play Naruto and you pull out your giant brick of decks where you got like 30, 40 decks, you're that type of person. My friend Dalton was that type of person for Buddyfight. He'd show up with 30, 40 Buddyfight decks, right? If you're that type of person, Naruto's a great game for you.
Yeah, insert a gif of Seto Kaiba in his briefcase right here. Like, if you like to be that guy, this is your game.
Absolutely. You'll find it very, very rewarding. And some of it is still very, 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 very budget friendly. But sealed boxes are on the rise.
Yes. If you're looking to jump into Naruto, I would do it right now.
Yeah. All right, that's our 5 recommendations. Before we get into all the outro-y stuff, I just want to lay on some final thoughts that you guys will... You'll probably comment these things otherwise anyways, even if I bring this stuff up. But hey, first, just because we didn't recommend a game doesn't mean we don't like it. We just don't want this to be a 6-hour video.
Exactly.
No, there are tons of great card games out there. And if you don't pick one of these ones as your next game, if you play something totally different, if you become avidly into the My Little Pony card game, good for you.
It's a good game.
Yeah. Sure.
We'll have to have a video where we duke it out, because I will actually defend that game as being
great,
pretty good.
I also want to say, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to love any of these games. Everyone has their own different likes or dislikes with card games, but you should give them all a try. One of the things that, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is playing more card games makes you appreciate card games more.
Absolutely. If you can check even one of these games out that you haven't before, please do it. It'll improve your overall card game experience, even if you don't like that game. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's all I've got to say. Do you have any final thoughts for the people out there?
Final thoughts. Thank you for having me on the channel again. I just love hanging out and talking with you. And thanks to everybody who stuck around and listened through this video. Your time's valuable, and I genuinely appreciate you willing to spend it with us. Even if you dislike the video and unsubscribe, just thanks for sticking it out, man.
Whoa. We're not going to go that far, man.
Well, I mean, hey, thumbs down, still engagement. Give me that juicy engagement.
What you guys should do is, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed to the channel, go ahead and unsubscribe, then subscribe again.
Actually, that does boost your numbers.
So, I think Speedrobo and I are now too busy to continue this episode because we are both now going to go to tcgplayer.com using our affiliate link in the description below and in a card off to the side to go buy quality TCG merchandise and singles while supporting TCG Buzz as a channel and helping it continue to grow.
Exactly, because I have to buy all of my hot new Card Fight Vanguard cards using TCG Buzz's affiliate link in the description below.
Absolutely. We're in complete agreement here. We both know that it supports the show and helps keep things running and helps us actually be able to afford cameras.
Yeah, which we don't have right now.
All right, guys. The other thing I'll say is I've been more active lately on the TCG Buzz Instagram, so check that out.
Ooh.
And join our Discord server. Those are the primary places if you want to get in contact with me, or Speedrobo's on our Discord too, and you can @ him and say, your views suck!
Yeah, because they do!
Yeah. That's all we got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoy. Please let us know what card games you are playing now that Buddyfight's dead.
Yeah,
and we'll see you guys
I'm genuinely curious. Bye-bye.
I've been playing Uno.
Oh, Uno's fucking great, dude.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For box openings, deck profiles, and more, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.